Students, now we will take NEET questions. In this portion, we will discuss about today aldehyde, ketones and carboxylic acid. We have some questions like preparations, reactions and IUPAC name. But for that, we have to study about summary. We are taking a preparation of aldehyde in this flow chart. This is my flow chart of aldehyde. Now here we will take how many reactions that can lead to reacts with other reactants and forms aldehyde. So here cyanide is converted to aldehyde. Thereafter primary alcohol, which is also converted to aldehyde. Thereafter halide compounds, which converts to aldehyde. Thereafter ester group or cyanide group, which is converted to aldehyde. Thereafter primary alcohol, which is converted to aldehyde. Thereafter acyl chloride reacts with hydrogen and forms aldehyde, and thereafter calcium carboxylate. This is calcium carboxylate, in other words calcium formate and calcium carboxylate. When reacts with each other, then forms aldehyde, and thereafter Grignard reactant reacts with hydrogen cyanide and forms aldehyde. So this is the possibilities to form aldehyde. Now we will discuss. First, Stiffened reaction. When cyanide compounds reacts with SnCl2 and hydrochloric acid. This is the mixture. When cyanide compounds reacts with the mixture of SnCl2 and hydrochloric acid in presence of ether, and thereafter by hydrolysis we can obtain aldehyde. So this reaction will be known as Stiffened reaction. So by Stiffened reaction we can obtain aldehyde from cyanide. Now thereafter alcohol. You are given here primary alcohol RCH2OH. How can you justify that this is primary alcohol? Because whenever OH containing carbon which are having one carbon, so will be known as primary alcohol. But OH containing carbon which are having two carbons, two alkyl or allyl group, so it will form secondary alcohol. And when OH containing carbon which reacts with other three carbon, then these will be known as tertiary alcohol. So here primary alcohol when reacts with copper at 300 temperature, that means 300 degrees Celsius temperature, so primary alcohol is converted to aldehyde. Thereafter primary halide, right, RCH2X. Primary halide when reacts with dimethyl sulfoxide, this is DMSO, right. When alkyl halide, primary halide reacts with DMSO, then forms aldehyde. Thereafter ester or cyanide reacts with reducing agent like dibalate, that means diisobutyl alcohol. When ester or cyanide reacts with diisobutyl alcohol and then hydrolysis, then form aldehyde. Thereafter primary alcohol reacts with acidic K2Cr2O7, then also forms aldehyde. Like this we are moving on Rosemoon reaction. Now what is Rosemoon reaction? Here we can say that when acyl chloride reacts with hydrogen in presence of palladium metal and barium sulfate solution, when acyl chloride reacts with hydrogen gas in presence of palladium metal and barium sulfate solution, then acyl group is converted to aldehyde. This phenomena will be known as Rosemoon reaction. Okay. Thereafter, when calcium carboxylate reacts with calcium formate, then also form aldehyde. Okay. And thereafter, Grignard reactant, you know very well that CS3MgBr, CS3MgI or C2H5MgCl, you can say that this is Grignard reactant. Now Grignard reactant reacts with hydrogen cyanide and forms aldehyde by hydrolysis. So we can say that these were the preparation of aldehyde. In other words, you can say that this is my aliphatic aldehyde. By these reaction we can obtain aliphatic aldehyde. This was my summary of preparation of aldehyde. Okay. Okay, now we are going on preparation of aromatic aldehyde, right, and thereafter preparation of ketone. Both this topic we are going in summary view. Okay, first of all, let me take preparation of aromatic aldehyde. By Gattermann reaction, you can find benzaldehyde. By Gattermann-Koch, you can obtain benzaldehyde. By Ethanol reaction, you can obtain benzaldehyde. By Rosemoon reaction, you can obtain benzaldehyde. And by Solomate reaction, we can obtain benzaldehyde. Okay, let me see. When benzene reacts with the mixture of HCl and hydrochloric acid, that means acidic hydrogen cyanide, in presence of aluminum trichloride, aluminum chloride, then benzene is converted to benzaldehyde. This reaction is known as Gattermann reaction. Now thereafter, benzene reacts with the mixture of CO and HCl in presence of AlCl3, then obtain benzaldehyde. This reaction is known as Gattermann-Koch reaction. Thereafter, toluene reacts with chromyl chloride, that means CrO2Cl2. When toluene reacts with chromyl chloride CrO2Cl2, then ethyl reaction is carried out. That is why benzaldehyde is obtained. Thereafter, benzoyl chloride, this is benzene ring containing COCl. Benzoyl chloride reacts with the mixture of palladium metal and barium sulfate solution. Then hydrogenation is taking place, carried out. That is why benzaldehyde is obtained. This is Rosemoon reaction. Now, when hexamethylene tetraamine in presence of ethanol, when reacts with benzyl chloride, then also form benzaldehyde. Repeatedly, when hexamethylene tetraamine reacts with in presence of ethanol solvent, right, when reacts with benzyl chloride, so they form benzaldehyde. This reaction is known as Somerset reactions. Now we can see here Rosemoon reaction, Gattermann reaction, Gattermann-Koch reaction, Ethanol reaction, and by Somerset reaction we can obtain benzaldehyde. So these were my preparation of aromatic aldehyde. Now we are moving for preparation of ketones. We can say that here halide containing carbon which is attached with more to carbon. That means this is your secondary halide. Now, secondary halide when reacts with dimethyl sulfoxide, then forms ketone. This is first reaction. Thereafter, when RCOCl, that means acetyl chloride, reacts with alkyl magnesium halide, that means Grignard reactant. When acyl chloride reacts with Grignard reactant in presence of cadmium chloride, then they forms also ketone. Thereafter, secondary alcohol. This is R2CHOH. Now OH containing carbon which is attached with two more carbon. That is why secondary alcohol is given. Now secondary alcohol reacts with copper in presence of 300 degrees temperature. Then ketone is obtained. Thereafter secondary alcohol reacts with acidic K2Cr2O7. They also form ketone. Thereafter we can say that calcium carboxylate, when it is heated, then they form ketonic compounds. Thereafter RMGX means Grignard reactant reacts with cyanide compound and then get hydrolysis. That is why ketone is formed. So these were my preparation of ketones. This was my summary. Student, now we are moving for chemical properties of aldehyde and ketones. Okay. Here carbonyl are given. Now whenever you are using here H and H, both hydrogen, then it will form aldehyde. But whenever two alkyl group is there, then it will be known as ketone. Thereafter, if you are using one side alkyl and one side hydrogen, then it will be useful as an aldehyde. So, what we are taking over here, this is depend upon aldehyde and ketone. Now here, when carbonyl reacts with sodium bisulfite, then sodium bisulfite is obtained. Here, when aldehyde, when ethanol reacts with sodium bisulfite, then ethanol sodium bisulfite is obtained. But when acetone is given, then acetone reacts with sodium bisulfite, then acetone sodium bisulfite is obtained. This is addition reaction. Similarly, when here both side we are using hydrogen, or one side you are using methyl and one side you are using hydrogen, then it will be known as aldehyde. But whenever two alkyl group will be there, then it will be looking ketone. So aldehyde reacts with hydrogen cyanide, and when addition reaction is taking place, then cyanohydrin product are formed. Whether it would be aldehyde or it would be ketone. So we can say that aldehyde and ketone reacts with sodium bisulfite and reacts with sodium hydrogen cyanide. Then what will happen? Then sodium bisulfite product is obtained and cyanohydrin product is obtained. Okay, now we are moving for methanol, ethanol and propanol. Here you are given one carbon and it is aldehyde. Here two carbon and aldehyde. Here three carbon and ketone. So first we will take methanol. When methanol reacts with methyl magnesium bromide, then this methyl will attack toward this carbon and forms two carbon and one alcohol. So this will be my 1 degree alcohol. So whenever methanol reacts with Grignard reactant, then 1 degree alcohol is formed. Similarly, when two carbons of aldehyde, that means ethanol, is given, and ethanol reacts with methyl magnesium bromide, then this methyl is attacked toward this carbon and forms 3 carbon as well as 1 OH. That means here propanol is formed. Here propanol is formed. Thereafter here 3 carbon and ketone you are given. When Grignard reactant is reacted with this carbonyl group, then here tertiary alcohol is obtained. So we can say that when methanol is given, primary alcohol obtained, ethanol is given, secondary alcohol obtained, and propanol is given, acetone is given, then 3 degree alcohol will be obtained by hydrolysis. Okay, Now we are moving. When aldehyde or ketone, you can say aldehyde reacts with alcohol and then form hemiacetal. Here hemiacetal is obtained. When methanol reacts with ethanol, because here two carbon is there, when ethanol reacts with methanol, that means aldehyde reacts with alcohol, then hemiacetal is formed. Here O and CH3 will be attached and remaining OH will be attached this side. Thereafter, more methanol is added. Then what will happen? Then this H removes with OH, right? And methyl will be there. So both sides OCH3 will be attached. Then acetal are formed. This is acetal. So we can say that when ethanol reacts with methanol, then hemiacetal is formed. Thereafter, more or excess methanol is given, then acetal are formed. Okay, now this carbonyl group containing aldehyde or ketone. That means if you are given ethanol or acetone reacts with the derivatives of ammonia. This is what? Derivatives of ammonia. When carbonyl compound reacts with derivatives of ammonia at pH 3.5, then derivatives of condensation reaction will be formed. Here condensation reaction will be occurred, that is why C and Z will be obtained. So different types of organic compounds are obtained. Here you are using NH2 as a Z. Then hydrogen is obtained. Hydrogen reacts with this carbonyl, hydrogen will be formed. So here derivatives of ammonia is reacted with carbonyl and then forms derivatives of condensation reaction. Thereafter, when aldehyde reacts with Tollens reagent, you know very well in your textbook level exams, when aldehyde reacts with Tollens reagent in presence of OH minus, then carboxylate ion which is formed, and silver mirror will be obtained in inner part of the test tube. So that is why this reaction is known as Tollens reagent, and mirror is obtained on the layer of the test tube. Okay, so when aldehyde reacts with silver ammonical nitrate, or in other words ammonical silver nitrate, then carboxylic acid or carboxylate ion is formed, and silver mirror which is obtained in inner part of the test tube. This reaction is known as Tollens reagent. Now when aldehyde reacts with cupric oxide, that means U plus 2, which is nothing but the mixture of phenyl A and phenyl B. When aldehyde reacts with phenyl solution, then carboxylate ion is formed and rare PPTs of cuprous oxide are formed. So here this reaction is known as Tollens reagent and this reaction is known as phenyl reaction. Now in this reaction aldehyde give this taste, ketone does not give this taste. Here also aldehyde give this taste, ketone does not give this taste. Okay, now here propane 2-on is given. When propane 2-on reacts with highly oxidizing agent like HNO3, then what will happen? Then this carbonyl will remove with a small alkyl group and forms carboxylic acid. Thereafter remaining 3 carbon will form also carboxylic acid. So here When propane 2-on reacts with highly oxidizing agent, then oxidation is taking place. That is why 2 carbon having carboxylic acid like acetic acid and 3 carbons acetic acid, that means propanoic acid, are formed. So here ethanoic acid and propanoic acid are formed by oxidation of ketones. So these were the summaries of chemical properties. Okay, students, thereafter we are discussing about haloform test. Now CH3CO that you are given, when ethanol reacts with 3 moles of I2 in presence of NaOH, then what will form? These 3 hydrogen removes with 3 iodine, then 3 moles of HI will be removed and 3 iodine will be participating over here. That is why Ci3CHO is formed. Thereafter, by reaction with NaOH, you can obtain CHI3. This is your iodoform. This is iodoform. So ethanol give this test. Means ethanol reacts with 3 moles of I2, iodoform will be obtained. These reactions is known as haloform reaction or haloform test. Okay. Thereafter, Mervin-Ponderville reaction. In this reaction, when you are given ketone, when ketone reacts with CH3 twice CHO thrice aluminium, repeatedly CH3 twice CHO thrice aluminium in presence of isopropyl alcohol, then ketone is converted into 2-degree alcohol. This is 2-degree alcohol. So by Mervin-Ponderville reaction, we can get secondary alcohol. Thereafter, Kremmensen reduction. You know very well that when aldehyde or ketone reacts with ZnHgHCl, this is zinc amalgam, right, with mercury in presence of HCl, that means reduction is taking place. So 2 hydrogen will remove with oxygen and forms water. And thereafter 2 hydrogen is going toward there. That is why alkane is obtained. Here alkane is obtained. Now when we can say that when propanol is given, when you are given propanol, after this reaction you can obtain propane. Thereafter here ketone is to be given. When propanol is given, you can obtain propane. So we can say that aldehyde and ketone reacts with ZnHgHCl, then reduction is taking place. That is why alkane is obtained by aldehyde and by ketone. This is Kremmensen reduction. Similarly, we are going Wolff-Kishner reduction. Now in Wolff-Kishner reduction, you can obtain aldehyde is converted to alkane. How it is possible? Let me see. Here you are given aldehyde, now RCHO. Aldehyde when reacts with NH2NH2, that means hydrazine. Aldehyde reacts with hydrazine and forms first of all water molecule. H2O will be removed. Now NNH2 is going toward there. So this is condensed product. Now aldehyde reacts with hydrazine, then form condensed product, and after reaction with KOH and glycol, then forms, this is your N2. N2 will be removed and hydrogen will be here. So RCH3 is formed. Now this is alkane. So whenever you are using over CH3CHO, if CH3CHO will be there, then CH3CH3 ethane should be formed. If ethanol is given, ethane is obtained. If propanol is given, propane obtained. If butanol is given, butane obtained. So this reaction is known as Wolff-Kishner reaction. In Wolff-Kishner reaction, which were the reagent? NH2NH, that means hydrogen, and KOH plus glycol, this is the reactant. Now aldol condensation. You know very well that in aldol condensation, alpha carbon containing hydrogen, the reactant should be having alpha carbon containing hydrogen. If 2 moles of aldehyde which is containing alpha carbon hydrogen in dilute NaOH, dilute basic media, then aldol is obtained. Then aldol is obtained, and after heating, H and OH will be removed. H and OH will be removed. That is why butenol is obtained. Here butenol is obtained. So ethanol reacts with dilute NaOH, 2 moles of ethanol which is containing alpha carbon hydrogen, alpha hydrogen you can say. When alpha hydrogen is present in any aldehyde, then reacts with dilute NaOH, then they form aldol. Thereafter by heating it forms butenol. This is aldol condensation. Now Cannizzaro reaction, you know very well that Cannizzaro, alpha carbon does not contain any hydrogen. So alpha hydrogen which is not present in any aldehyde, then 2 moles of this aldehyde reacts with strong base 50% NaOH, then 1 molecules of aldehyde convert to carboxylic acid or sodium carboxylate, and second aldehyde will be converted to alcohol. So we can say that by this reaction, by Cannizzaro reaction, one aldehyde is converted to carboxylic acid or sodium carboxylate, and second aldehyde is converted to alcohol by polymerizations. Now polymerizations, if n moles of aldehyde reacts with each other and getting polymerization, then they form paraformaldehyde, CH2N times. This is paraformaldehyde. When n moles of aldehyde is present, but 3 moles of aldehyde when get polymerizations, then they form metaformaldehyde. So by 3 moles of aldehyde you can obtain metaformaldehyde, and n moles you are given, then paraformaldehyde will be obtained.